Welcome to Linux Saloon, a place to discuss tech, open source, and where Linux is always on tap. Each show will have a talk about a Linux project, such as a distribution, desktop environment, or an application. We also chat about the news. Any variety of topics, really, from the community is on the table for discussion. I'm Nate. I forgot where I was. In my house. Linux fitness and vintage tech enthusiast with an almost unhealthy obsession with the OpenSUSE project. With me today, I got a fantastic panel of people. I've got Eric, Zebedee Boss, Eris Dale, Jinda, and Mike Chilson. Oh, and somebody else who just popped in. And Ben. Oh, and another person, Penguin Revolution. I haven't seen him in a couple of years. How is everybody?
Yeah,
excellent.
Good. Fantastic. Well, if you'd be so kind as to smash that like button, or like that smash button, or, give it a good little thumbs up. Or, if you don't like it, hit that thumbs down, but make sure you punch that thing twice to really send that message home. That would be great. And also, your feedback provides something to the algorithms out there. So that would help me out. Will help us out rather. Get more voices, more people, more input. So if you have not done so already, be sure to do the StrawPoll. And also, you can join our Discord here, the voice chat. You can join the Telegram. Whatever your flavor of conversation is, that is cool. So on the docket for today, we're going to be talking about Cosmic OS. And yes. So also, or I should say, PopOS with Cosmic. See, I already messed that up. Good job.
You already messed it up.
I already messed it up. Yeah, but that's all right. I'm good at such things.
Oh, Nate, do we have time for a free pour at the end, please?
I think we might.
Cool, because Red and I have some installer news for you.
Well, neato. Good deal. If we have time, we'll squeeze that in too.
Yes.
All right, but first, what have you been doing in Linux and tech? I really want to get to. So Mike had an interesting little road trip adventure this weekend. I thought he said it went to a conference, but it was no, I shouldn't say it was just. It was a talk by one Richard Stallman. How did that go?
It was very interesting. I'm not a huge fan of him personally, but I think he stands for a lot of good things, especially when it comes to, open source and free software. It was a very interesting talk. There was probably 60, 70 people there. It was good. He pretty much just did his regular spiel about free software and what that really means. And if you're not familiar with that, you may want to go watch one of his videos, or I think Eris may or Nate may have linked it in the chat. But it's an interesting outlook about free software, and he invented something called copyleft instead of copyright. And basically what it is, if you're not familiar with it, is if you give software away along with the source code, then if anyone changes it, they have to give it away also. They can't take it and make it private commercial use, which in a perfect world would be great, and that's the basics of the GNU licensing. But most people in open source use MIT or Apache too. Those tend to be the ones, because those are probably the most permissive licenses out there that say you can basically do anything with this. Whereas the GNU ones have the restriction that anything you use it for, you have to release it for free also. So that's his ideas in a nutshell.
Well, I know there's GPL2, which is what
there's
Linux kernel is, and then GPL3 is, I think, what Debian is, and some others.
Right. Yeah. There's 3 different levels of it, of GPL. And of course, he also was the one that started the GNU project. Um, Controversial guy, has said some things that probably a lot of people will not care for. But it was interesting. It was an opportunity to go. Sorry, my phone's.
It's right. I have one of those too.
It was an interesting opportunity to go see someone who's kind of one of the founders of our this entire tech thing. So it was interesting. I'm glad I did it. Let me just say that.
So if you could like break down what your experience and say what like the big thing that you took away from the talk, what would you say that would be? Like the one main thing.
Uh, all of my preconceived notions about him are true. That would be it. That would be it.
And that could be could be good or bad, I suppose.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, the thing about it is, I kind of already knew all of what he's done. I know quite a bit about him for a while, but it was just an opportunity to go see the guy face to face, and Georgia Tech sponsored it. Kudos to them. But I mean, he has some good ideas, I think, about things, and but I'm not sure how scalable all of them are in an economy. But he's somewhat of a free, and by free, when he talks about free, he's not talking about cost. He's talking about liberty free, the ability to do whatever you want with it. So
yeah, there was a something that he said. I can't remember. This is years ago. This is probably 10 plus years ago when I heard him talk about this. But how he says that, and whether or not you agree with it or not, I don't fully agree with the statement, but that proprietary software is abusive to the user, or that idea. I don't know. Has anyone ever heard of this before? But like basically, proprietary companies abuse their users, and so
yeah. He made, I've actually, I'm sorry. Actually, I've seen many of his talks online, and they're all pretty much the same. And that's one of his points that he makes, is that companies that do not review the source code of their product are basically evil. So in a nutshell, that's kind of a summary of what he thinks. Which we're all entitled to our opinion, obviously. But and I mean, it's not that what he's saying is not true to some level, but I don't think everyone out there creating software is out to get everyone. So.
Right. Yeah. I do agree in many ways, especially like right now with a lot of things that are going on in the industry, that I do feel like software is kind of abusive, especially on these mobile devices. I would say largely.
Yeah.
And so I do think about that statement. Not that I mean, I don't think it's universally true, but I do see where that is kind of a it seems to be more true than not, if that makes any sense. So I don't know.
I would say with major software vendors, that's true. I don't think it's true. You see all the companies you see, like Microsoft, Apple, AWS, whatever. Yeah, those guys, any opportunity to make money, they're going to do it, whether it's abusive or not, for the most part. But I think there's a whole class of companies that develop software that are just small and medium-sized companies that don't do that kind of stuff, and they far outweigh the numbers of those that do. It's just the ones that do are more visible because of their size. I guess that's my take on that.
I will say something that does concern me. Not that I'm a huge gamer or anything like that, but I believe video games are another art form that should be preserved. And I feel like there's a lot of games now, today, like companies are pretty egregious about this too. So if they shut down their servers or whatever, there's no way to access those games. And even now, like with the new Nintendo, the Switch 2, some of these cards, the cards you put in there, they're nothing more than a key so you can download it. So if for whatever reason, let's say years down the road, you want to share your experience playing a game on the Switch 2 with your kids, your kids, whatever, are they going to even be able to do that? And I think the way the industry is going, the way things are going, it really seems like, that's not going to be possible. At least with Steam.
Well,
and
yeah.
At least with Steam.
Well, with Nintendo, they're notorious for shutting down their servers.
Right.
So
they are.
Yeah, they're notorious
Steam,
for it.
You can have it local, and you can run it offline. So if it has an offline mode, it'll still work. And so there's, yes, they're it's all digital keys you download there, but at least I don't feel like they're quite as abusive. Although it does concern me that you can't will your games onto somebody else, which that does concern me a little bit. But maybe that'll change.
I mean, define the term abusive from your perspective. What does that mean?
I think if you make rules that are anti-consumer, that would be considered abusive.
Okay.
And I know that's pretty broad. What does it mean, anti-consumer? Well, it can mean a lot of things. It can mean basically if you make things difficult for the consumer to utilize your product. Like if I buy something, it's mine, right? I mean that's how it works. If I go to the grocery store and I buy a bag of apples, those apples are mine, and I can do with them whatever I want. If I want to take them and chuck them into the woods, that's my right to do. With a lot of these EULAs that you buy when you buy hardware, software, whatever, some of them are worded as such that you're only paying for license to use them, so you're actually really only renting them. You don't really own them, and that kind of bothers me. And so I think that there probably should be, and I'm the last one to say we should be creating new laws, but I think that there should be some sort of more required transparency by businesses to disclose what it means when you make a monetary exchange for their product, what that actually means. Am I going to Avis and am I renting a car, or am I buying a car? Although then one could argue you buy a house, you don't actually own it, because if you don't pay your property taxes, then the government takes it away from you. So I guess you're still renting it. But anyway, that's another rant for another time.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm going to push back a little bit and say that.
Please do.
Licensing is different from leasing. Okay, normally when you buy a piece of software, although today it's changing somewhat, if you pay $4.95 for a package, you have a perpetual license for that software until you're gone or it's gone, one of the two. Okay. Today, they're trying to monetize that more by doing subscriptions instead of full-on perpetual licensing. But the problem is, Nate, is that you get into an ownership issue. If I give you all my source code that I've spent $250,000 developing, that's an issue for me. So, who is it fair to? Who is that fair to? Should you be more fair to the consumer or more fair to the owner of the product? I mean, it's a seesaw, that I don't know what the answer is, to be honest with you, but there are two sides.
Yeah, you're right, and that's the economics of it. So, if I develop a product, let's say an appliance manufacturer develops a product, a new washing machine or whatever, and they have so many hundreds of thousands of dollars in the development process, the tooling, manufacturing, assembly, and even like design and manufacturing of the packaging so they can ship it to the destination. And so they have to make sure that it makes economic sense. It's sustainable for them as a company to be able to sell these at a price where they make a profit, be able to pay their workers, pay their bills, and then be able to, yes, Eris, that's also true. I just shipped one out today, this week. And then be able to actually make it worthwhile. So, but when I buy that appliance, typically speaking, for the Jolla for an appliance is pretty straightforward. You buy it, you can hit it with a sledgehammer if you really want to. It's not going to do you any good, but there's nothing stopping you from making modifications to it or anything else, as long as it's doesn't. Well, technically you could do it. I mean, technically you could do something dangerous if you wanted, if you really felt like it. Anyway, but there's nothing really stopping you. But with software, it's very weird, the rules, because it's different from software to software. So I mean, I don't know.
It's like a book. Think about a book, okay? If you spend your time 2 years writing a novel, and you put that out there on the market with no way to license or copyright it, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, it really depends. I mean, it's possible people could copy the book. That does happen.
Yeah.
But there are, and that will happen.
Right.
But it's not necessarily universal. Just because you can doesn't mean you will or should. But you're right. There's that possibility.
And so, I mean, that's the rub right there. I mean, it's certainly don't give away all the software that if I develop something for a client and I use some of my proprietary code, if it's in a library, they get the library, but they don't get the code because that's my property, not theirs.
Right.
But I'm using it for their project, right? So, I mean, you got to put a stop to it somewhere. I'm not taking sides with big tech at all. I'm just saying that the current way that we're doing it, it may not be the best way, but it seems to be working for the most part so far. And if anybody's abusing customers, it's going to be people like Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, HP, you name it, the big ones, who are endowed to their board members to make money, not to give a good customer experience.
Right, but at the same time, I think it's more the intent. So, I mean, I use proprietary software and I happily use it, but I also tend to only buy it from companies that are more transparent and upfront about what it means to purchase their software. So, for instance, I'll just give you an example. Adobe, the PDF tool that they have, that is a tool that's getting year by year worse because of whatever they're doing to it, and they're becoming more abusive to their customer base and how that phones home and everything else too, because they want to protect their product. I get it. I understand. We also pay for subscriptions, so in the workplace, I don't pay for it. There's an alternative out there that is actually Linux friendly called PDF Studio. I would say it's just as good, maybe even better in many ways. It doesn't have all the the AI tools, but it does do everything that most people need to do, and is not abusive to their customers. So I first bought this PDF authoring tool, whatever you want to call it, back in 2008, and then every couple of years I bought, like whenever I felt like I wanted a newer version, I bought it, and that was fine. I could do that. And so it was a practice that felt a lot more fair to me as a consumer than what Adobe is doing now. They weren't mining me for data. They weren't doing any sort of, dirty business, basically. And their end user license agreement was something you could actually read through and understand and know, like, when I buy this, I can put on like up to 2 or 3 machines, something like that. And so I thought that was fair. And so I guess having options is good, not having
Well, I mean, that's the beauty of a free market. You know, that's the beauty of a free market is the best solutions are going to bubble to the top unless you, and Adobe is probably the absolute best example of a terrible software company. I mean, they really are. I mean, their licensing methods they're predatory. They have terrible products. The reason they're so successful is because what they do is, you know, with photo editing, like with Photoshop, for instance, that is such an advanced tool, has so many advanced features that it takes a tremendous amount of time and capital to develop something like that. That's why they're number one in that spot. That's the only reason.
And also, there's a competitor to it called Michael Tennell uses it. And I can't recall the name of it. Photopea. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And so it's a very similar model. It's a web-based application, but it does operate locally. And that guy spent a lot of time and money and everything else on that. But his business model isn't so consumer hostile, though. It's not.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know. So from the chat here,
I agree with you on this, mate.
Yeah, Popple Penguin says.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, we don't have to. I mean, I could be wrong.
Well, no, I mean, I do. I'm just saying, though, that it's like anything else. That the way that you do something, there's always going to be people that abuse the system.
Right.
Right. There's always going to be a small percentage of people that do that. But to go out there and say that you're abusing your customer if you don't give them the source code is not what I consider that to be. And that's what Richard Stallman basically pushes.
I would say that's one line in the sand, and
yes,
that's not necessarily where I would put the line, but that's his line, and I think it's okay to take that position. And if you truly believe that position, fine, go with it. That's not the position I would take. So Popple Penguin says Valve is probably more consumer friendly than of the gaming companies, and then I think Eris, he responded to that a little bit later, saying GOG is probably more consumer friendly, which I would say is true.
Tell you what, though, he did have an interesting take on. He did have an interesting take on AI.
Well, what was that? I'm interested. Like, it had to been.
I think you can probably guess what it is.
Well, he probably thinks it's ushering in of all that is evil.
Thinks that his opinion seems to be that do not trust it in any shape or form, no matter what it tells you, and that it is basically stealing people's software. You know, so that's his words, not Mike's. Okay. I don't really agree with that, but yeah, he's pretty harsh on it. He had a few terms to use that I will not repeat, but if you watch the video, you'll hear them. So.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out.
But anyway, it was a great chance to just kind of check him out face to face and see how it was. It went down exactly like I thought it would, to be honest with you. And I mean, I'm glad. So I can say I've done that now. So
yeah. I mean, I think whether you like him or not, it's probably more fair to listen to someone's positions, like from the horse's mouth, sort of thing. So yeah, I probably wouldn't seek him out to go see him, but you know, I wouldn't necessarily turn my nose to it, if that makes any sense. So Penguin, you had something you wanted to say earlier, and I don't know if there's some comment that you had there. Also, I saw your hand.
I think I forgot. But, oh wait, no. I know they were talking about alternatives to like Adobe products and stuff. One of the ones I found is rather consumer friendly is the Corel products as well. And most of them have Linux clients as well. Like Aftershock has a Linux client, and that's one I use all the time for my job. So yeah, it's a pretty decent consumer friendly. You pay once and it's yours forever.
Yeah, I think that's good. And I don't like if I buy a piece of software, I don't expect free updates for life. If I buy proprietary software, I don't, because it's something I purchased a transaction. If they offer it, great, or if they do it for a period of time, that's fine. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, the only thing about Aftershock is Aftershock 3 is still technically supported, but they haven't updated the Linux client, and now it currently doesn't work on current versions of Ubuntu. And a lot of people have been complaining about that. A lot of people. I can get it to run through DistroBox, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. It's kind of
Sure, that makes sense. That'd be an extra step to take. That wouldn't be fun. But anyway, so thank you, Mike. Yeah.
One quick thing and this will be the last thing I'll say about it. I just asked Eris to put a URL into the chat for YouTube. It's Richard Stallman's personal site. If you're not familiar with him and you want to get a feel for what this guy's about, that's probably the best way to do it. It's somewhat entertaining to go check out. So.
Yeah. I haven't read about him in a while. It might be interesting. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. I'll have the link to that talk that was in the Discord chat here. I'll put that into the show notes or description of YouTube after this. Well, excellent. All right, we're going to move on to the StrawPoll. If you have not done the StrawPoll, there's still some opportunity to do that. I don't know if Eris, I didn't see if you put anything in the Google Doc or not.
Oh, the Google Doc don't have it.
Oh, okay. But if you got stuff, that's fine. Go ahead and run with it. Speaking of proprietary.
I don't have any comments for this, I think.
Okay.
Let me just refresh. So which best describes your experience with PopOS 2404? So yeah, that's also noteworthy that this is the 2404 release just now, like in 2026.
That's all right. I'm sure they got it patched nicely.
And the number one I answer with 47%, it is good, followed by 26% did not have a good time with it, and then 16% not interested in exploration, 5% it's amazing, 5% didn't have enough time. Nobody said it's okay, and nobody said they're not interested in doing explorations in general, and nobody picked Tux Penguin. So pretty good, I guess. It is good with 47%.
Yeah, I put it in the it is good camp. I thought it was good. There's still a little bit of weirdness, but I thought it was good. Yeah. Well, it's interesting to see that most people thought it was good. Definitely different. So I guess we can go ahead and roll right into the actual PopOS exploration itself before it, so I can try and stay on track for a change. So some rules. The intent is to talk about the different aspects of the operating system and discuss the experience from using it. This is a discussion that should be objective and constructive, so non-objective opinions like it's just garbage. It doesn't really help. But rather if you say, I wish I had a specific feature, or I really need features that allow me to do a specific thing, that's more beneficial. So the point is to highlight the positives, but not necessarily ignore the lowlights of the project. Remember, this is a labor of love for some, so let's not poo-poo on it, at least not too much. So some background, a little bit about System 76, we'll start there. It's a US-based hardware and software company founded in 2005, specializing in Linux laptops, desktop servers, and workstations. I didn't know they had servers until just now. They design and build machines optimized for Linux, like the Thelio, Lemur Pro, and Pangolin series. And they've long maintained PopOS. They're an Ubuntu-based distro tailored for creator, developer, gamer, and power users. PopOS has been popular for its excellent NVIDIA support, tiled window manager, recovery partition, and focuses on productivity and gaming workflows. So Cosmic is a System76's homegrown desktop environment, or DE. First announced in 2022-2023 as a full replacement for Gnome on PopOS. It launched its beta with PopOS 2404 LTS released around late 2025, and by 2026 it's receiving regular point updates and with theming and bug fixes and so forth. So the reasons behind creating a Cosmic, so System76 built Cosmic from scratch primarily because they wanted full control over the desktop experience instead of relying on Gnome, which has diverged from their tiling, customization, and performance goals. Gnome's direction with extensions was limiting their heavy resource use. Didn't align perfectly with what PopOS focused on because they're primarily targeting speed, gaming, and creative workflows. Rust was chosen as a language for its memory-safe performance and modern tooling, reduced vulnerabilities like key logging or input spoofing, common in older C-based compositors, and making the code base more maintainable, readable for their team. So the goal is to deliver a Wayland-native, lightweight, highly customizable desktop environment that feels premium and integrated with PopOS hardware. So that's a little about background. Did anybody have anything they want to say? That was just kind of a quick little summary on that. I know Mike might have something to say about the slight slap on older C-based things, because he's a neckbeard, I think, a little bit.
No.
I think the same thing that happened with Canonical, that they were trying to do certain things with GNOME, and GNOME didn't want to didn't like their point of view. I think that's what happened to PopOS. They kind of didn't like some of the things that GNOME was doing, and they proposed different things, and they felt that they should do their own project, just like Unity.
Are you saying that you said that's for why they did Unity initially? Because I thought that's why they did Unity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So it's the same thing for PopOS. They didn't like some of the things that GNOME were doing, so they wanted they proposed changes, but the GNOME devs didn't like the changes either, if I remember correctly.
That seems to align with what I remember. Although I wasn't really closely following Unity back in the day though, so I couldn't say for sure.
I think the fact that they're trying to build a new desktop is really, really interesting. And they're doing it for all the right reasons, so that the products that they produce give the end users a better experience. Aesthetically, it looks great. If you just want to use it in a very simple format and do nothing special with it, it works. But I think the minute you try and introduce something a little more complex, and I don't know what it is with developers, most of them I have divisions of them sitting there with a single laptop and then wondering why people with 3 or 4 monitors can't get on with it. And for me, it's not ready for general use. It does some really weird, strange things with my monitor setup, and Wayland is just not ready for someone who's got an unusual monitor setup. And it's not that unusual. I've got a 49-inch widescreen and a 4K. I change something on my 4K and it immediately affects what's happening on my widescreen. Why? I didn't touch the widescreen part of the display. I touched the 4K. And then I come back and try and fix the 49-inch, and then the 4K changes again. They seem to just think I've got a whole desktop that's 8960 by 2160. And I haven't. I've got 2 separate monitor sizes, but they seem to lump it as one big whole.
I wonder if is that just with Pop that you had that problem with, or is that any Wayland compositor?
The majority of Wayland things go wrong, but Pop is the worst I've seen so far. The others I've been able to work it out to get it to an area where I can use it. But as a daily driver and playing games on Steam, there's no way I could use PopOS at the moment, which is a shame because it looks good. And I like the auto tiling, and I like the fact that you can turn it on or turn it off depending on what your mood takes. So in that regards, yeah, it looks really, really good. They just need to sort out Wayland and their monitor things. Because I mean, if you fire up Screen Fetch, it says my resolution is 8960 by 2160. Everyone else says monitor 1 is this, monitor 2 is that. These guys don't. They just lump it on. I think that's the biggest problem with trying to sort out the difference between zoom and scale.
Yeah, well, let's rewind the clock a little bit on this. So, did you have any issues installing it though? Were there, obviously getting configured was painful for you, but were any issues with the installation process at all?
Having chose the NVIDIA ISO and going through the install process, there was no physical difficulties. I just find it very, very strange that during the install process, having chosen UK English or whatever, having chosen the fact, I've told them I'm in the UK, I use a UK keyboard, and they go through and it all finishes and gets on with it. And then you get into the second part where you have to set it up when you're in PopOS. Why are there 50 choices of the English language? And the one that I had already chosen on the basic install stream was ticked, but it was 22 screens down. So I was looking through all the other stuff going, well, hang on, what's this UK Norman? What's this UK International? If I hadn't messed about with anything and just gone next, it would have picked. So why didn't they put that UK English at the top with a tick? Because that's what I'd chosen. And I just don't get how you can have, yes, you can have different sets of dialects, but 50 different versions of English keyboard input. Really?
I guess I'll make sure they cover all of them.
Yeah, but okay, but the one that they've got picked, put it at the top of the pick list. And it wasn't as if it was in alphabetical order. It was as if somebody grabbed the list from here and put it in, and somebody grabbed the list from there and put it in. And hang on a minute, I've now got 3 English UKs I can choose. So which one do I want? Which one's the right one?
Right.
Just that whole pick list is still a bit of a mess, unfortunately.
So, well, my installation process, I didn't have any issues at all. I thought it was like a nice, clean installer, but I mean, they are US based, so for me it was like US.
US, next, next.
So, yeah, exactly. And then put in Detroit for my time zone. I could have put New York, I suppose, but Detroit was an option, and or Detroit, because that's closer. Yeah, but actually, I thought the install was really neat. On the installation process, the part that I thought was really interesting is they had disk encryption by default. Like you had to unselect disk encryption if you wanted to unselect it. That I thought was really neat. I'm still a little bit lukewarm on disk encryption, so it's nice to see it's an option. I'm just a little lukewarm on it because I think, I don't know, bad experience in the past.
People losing it. Yeah, losing encryption keys is a known thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I lost some data once, and I'm still bothered by it, and it's been probably 15 years. So I don't think over things pretty easily, I guess. Anyway,
but the other thing I thought was really good. It was very quick.
Yeah, it was.
The install process was very quick. Yeah.
And also when it's actually doing the installation, did you find that rocket ship thing kind of fun? Like the whole cosmic theme, I think is just a lot of fun. Between the robots, the artwork, and everything else, it kind of has that WALL-E. Remember the movie WALL-E from?
I'm too conservative for that sort of stuff. So, all this robot nonsense flying around all over the place, and if you install, there's another one, and I can't remember what it is, but it's the Debian equivalent of Navara, and it's got cats hidden amongst ducks, and it's got a really quacky. You're muted, Penguin, by the way. It's got a really wacky, and that's the first thing that gets changed. Get all that nonsense off and give me a plain simple screen. Yeah.
Well, the Nebula background stuff they had was Exactly. And none of the background stuff they had I thought was pretty great. So.
So,
Yeah.
did you choose English London, English Newcastle, or English Birmingham?
Neither. I just picked English UK because I didn't see those three. Otherwise, I'd have picked English London. But then what's the difference between English London and English Newcastle? Absolutely nothing. It's English.
I'm just joking. It was a joke.
Oh, okay. Speech. Now, if they were going to be talking to me, there's no way I'd have chosen UK Newcastle, because I'd have never understood what they were talking about.
So
I do love Newcastle, by the way. It's a fantastic city.
I don't know that anybody from Newcastle is probably listening. It's kind of late at night. I can't believe you're up this late. But I did want to ask you, Dale. You went a totally different route. You didn't go the PopOS route. You went the OpenSUSE route, which is, I didn't do for what it's worth. How did that go?
So I did it on my 2-in-1 laptop, mostly because I wanted to test the how it worked in tablet mode and touchscreen to see how far along they got with touchscreen mostly. So I added it to Tumbleweed using System76's instructions to add it. It pulled in 95 packages, and keep in mind I'm on KDE Plasma. If I was running under Gnome, it might be less than that. I'm not sure. 95 packages installed really easy. Logged out, picked Cosmic, logged back in. It is not touchscreen ready for sure. Apps would start. I could interact with apps, but I could not interact with Cosmic's power and internet and audio by touchscreen, which I thought was backwards from what I expected. And there was no virtual keyboard that I could find as of yet. So I'm not excited about this release. I think I can be excited for Cosmic 2.0 or 3.0 because I really like the direction this is going. I think it looks great. And just for a little bonus for us weirdos, there is a single click to open files option in the settings. So kudos. Cosmic, you're not there for me just yet, but you know what? Maybe sometime in the future, I will be a little bit more warm to it. And I also found that some of the apps that I opened was really laggy. Click it to open it, and it took a really long time for the app to open. Specifically Cockpit Client Flatpak, which I thought maybe that's a Flatpak issue until I opened up Cosmic's terminal, and that lagged for a really long time too, and that's their own terminal. So, obviously still a work in progress. I really like the direction it's going, so I don't hate it, but for me, it's not ready yet. But something to keep an eye on, for sure.
Yeah, and then so there were no issues obviously installing it because you just installed the packages. Was it a zipper pattern? Is that how it was? Because I didn't check those instructions.
And the instructions was add repo, refresh, and then that created the what do they call it? It's the package. I forgot what it's called. The OpenSUSE.
Is it the pattern?
Pattern. Thank you very much. It lets you do just install. Yeah, install pattern, and then that pattern installed 95 packages. So it was really simple to follow along with. Had no issues. 3 terminal commands: log out, log into Cosmic.
That's cool. They had no problems with it. Anybody else who gave it a try? Did they have anything they wanted to maybe throw in on it?
I tried it a couple months ago, but
Okay.
the problem is it doesn't work on my current configuration, on my mainline configuration. I wanted to actually use PopOS on this computer. It doesn't work at all with the Cosmic desktop, which is weird because this is an AMD graphics code. It's less than a year and a half old. It just would not work. Other Wayland compositors work just fine. I'm using Sway right now. But Cosmic, it crashes immediately upon booting into this Radeon graphics, and it's a 7000 series, I believe. It's weird.
That is odd.
Yeah,
I didn't have any crashing issues. I was actually also when you first set it up for whoever wants to talk about it. Which configuration did you use for like the menu layout? Did you have like the bar on the top and the dock on the bottom, or just everything on the bottom?
I had the bar on top, dock on the bottom.
Okay.
I think that was the default for the way that I installed it.
Yeah, I did the same. I just wanted to see what was their default design. You can change it around, but let's see how it works the way they want it set up. And like you, Dale, I also had a lot of stutters. But it's funny, I had more stutters when I tried to put it on a different distro than I've actually suffered now it's on Cosmic and PopOS base. So maybe that stuttering is just it's not fully integrated into the OS that you're using. But I've certainly had far less stutters on PopOS using Cosmic.
I did want to actually, I'll wait on that. Anybody else want to kick in on their installation? How it went?
Oh, the installation for me went fine.
Yeah,
it was really good. After that, you can keep it.
One of the things that I don't like about the installer is that when you set the password, you can't see your password.
Yeah, that was bad.
That actually bit me because I did the encryption and I forgot the password, so I had to reinstall afterwards. And I always think that should always be like a little checkbox somewhere. You can just see your password. By default, it makes sense that your password is obscured. But if you want to make a secure long password, it's gonna be hard to type it correctly. Maybe starting off at least.
Yeah, it's understandable. I get it. Yeah, it was a remarkably easy install process, I thought. I have whenever I do a test system, I have a default password I use in my head, which I'm still not going to share with anybody, but it's just one that I use. So if you can crack that password, you can crack all my test machines that I don't continue to use necessarily.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
I use the same password on Linux that I told everybody back in 2019 anyway. If people are clever enough to crack my system and get in, good luck to them. They're not going to get anything.
So I did want to show something here. Yeah, that works. So I here I have it running in a VM. One of the things I thought was interesting about the about PopOS, or this I should say the dark theme, was the way they overlap. I should say the way they highlight the windows. This is very Galaxy-like. Did anybody remember? Not Galaxy. I'm sorry. Oxygen-like. Remember Oxygen, the theme in Plasma from some time ago?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, from KDE4, yes.
Yeah, so it kind of reminded me of that.
It's very window manager like. Window managers always have that border highlight, so you can always tell which window you're focusing on.
Now I will say that is kind of handy because it's much easier to see your screen, and so that is one thing I do appreciate it. And something. So I guess I like it, but also I don't like it. Does that make any sense? I don't know if that that's coming across.
I'm exactly the same.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think it's great.
What are you gonna like about it? You don't like the aesthetic, or you don't like what about it?
I don't like the aesthetic, but I like the usefulness of it, because I do lose like which window I've selected on Plasma with my dark theme, because basically it just kind of. I mean, I can see the title bar that is highlighted when it's active.
The shadows are not very good on a dark theme, so Yeah,
Right.
this highlights makes it way better to tell.
Yeah,
Do
it
you
does.
tend to like it because of nostalgia and that oxygen thing?
Maybe a little bit, but I just, to me, it also looks a little bit like I got a neon sign around it at the same time. But I don't think it's bad. Like I just don't prefer it. I guess that's really what it.
Is there any way to configure that to make it less in your face, less neon?
Oh, I'm
You
sure
can
there's
change
a
the
way.
colors on it. Yeah, I changed the colors on it without a problem.
There's other themes. There's like
Yeah.
6 or 4. I don't remember how many.
Yeah, there are 6 different
Yeah, you
themes.
change the radiuses too.
Yeah, but when you pick those other colors, I'll have to have a look later on after the stream. But when you pick those colors, are they still like that bright neon color, or are they much more
There's
muted?
one. There's like a yellowish, like not that bright. It's like a little dull.
See,
Yeah, you
I
can change
don't.
the colors anything you want.
Oh
Yeah.
no, turn that off, mate. Blimey.
Sorry about that. I
Nearly
apologize.
blinded me there.
Yeah, I blinded myself. There was another when you first set it up, there was a real neat installer. Well, it was slightly rounded.
Oh, go back up, Nate. There was all those little. Is that what you was talking about, Aris? Go back up, Nate. You can pick different colors.
You can pick a different color. Share the green. The
Yeah,
accent
you can
color.
pick the plus and pick any color you want. Oh.
That's just the accent color, though.
Yeah, this is the accent there. No, there's another there's like a Nord looking dark instead of the cosmic dark. So I don't remember where it was though now. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, but I thought it was. Oh, here's the dock, whatever. But I think it's a good looking desktop. I do like it. It feels very snappy, very easy to use. What I did think was kind of a little bit maybe weird about it is they have one button here for applications, which I would expect that to be in the corner like everything else. But they have this launcher, which is also kind of a menu thing too. So if you want to load Firefox, whatever, it works just the same. So I don't know. I guess having 2 different ones, I think it's a little bit different to me, but it's not like it's bad. If that makes any sense. What did you guys think? What did you think about that for the workflow? Did that kind of trip you up a little bit?
Yes.
That kind of holds true to the. Sorry, that kind of holds true to the original PopOS or the extensions on Gnome. If you think about it, so in Gnome, if you hit the super key, it's going to take you to the. Well, you can set depending on how you like it, but it by default would normally take you to like the overview of Gnome. So the launcher is still a different function, and discrete and distinct, I guess. But it's if you're used to using PopOS, I think that's what they were trying to do is sort of replicate that, like for like.
Okay.
So.
The search bar has different modes too to it, right? It has like 4 modes or something. It's like
You can pick whether it's whether it's like the overview, the menu, it's lets you decide like what the behavior is.
Yeah, and I would say it's there's nothing bad about it. It's just not what I'm accustomed to. I want to be clear on that. Like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just thought it was just different than what I'm used to. Because in Plasma you just hit the super key, you just start typing. If I want so if you use Plasma, like I think it's Alt space. Yeah, that gives you the
for key runner.
Yeah, for the K runner. This almost feels like K runner, in a way.
Yeah, it's kind of like the idea, like yeah.
Oh, look at all these different things here. That's kind of cool. So, yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna just share that. I just thought that was really neat. The certain aspects of this that, and I wasn't sure. I was kind of lukewarm about some things.
It's interesting for the virtual desktops. If you go back to that screen, they kept the vertical on the side. How Gnome used to do it, and then didn't go with the horizontal that Gnome now uses on the top.
Well, do you think it could be because most screens are widescreen, so it'd make more sense to have that off to one side instead of on the top? Do you think that might be the reason?
people say it makes more sense this way because they're using page up, page down to go between workspaces in GNOME. I don't know how it works for Cosmic. And if you just go up and down, it makes sense that the list of a workspace are vertical. Versus you clicking page up, page down, going across the screen with GNOME. That's the way it works now.
Oh, yeah. I haven't used GNOME in a while. So, I mean, I guess we just did Ubuntu a while ago. But I didn't do mainline. Okay. So as far as the Cosmic Store, they should have called it Pop Shop. I think Pop Shop would have been way better. I really do.
I agree. That just has a good ring to it.
I do use this one on Tumblr, the quick web apps. This is a great. If anyone used Peppermint OS back in the day, the web app tool they had in there, quick web apps is a lot like that. So I highly recommend that.
I think everyone knows the answer is if people used Peppermint in the old days.
Well, I think it's at least you, Zeb, right?
Yeah. I've still got the Peppermint jacket and I've still got the Peppermint t-shirt.
Well, that's Peppermint's still a thing. In fact, I got some stickers here somewhere. I did. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody find anything missing out of the Pop Shop? I mean, Cosmic Store? That they wanted?
No, I think they've got it pretty much covered with either in the store itself or with flat packs that you can install if you can't see it. But no, I didn't come across anything that I wanted that wasn't in the store.
I wonder what was. I didn't actually check, but I wonder what the Cosmic flat pack source would be, like how that differs. Well, anyway, yeah, I mean, the fact that you have all the flat packs, and that's pretty much kind of level the application playing field with all the different distributions at this point.
One of the things that Cosmic does better, I think, than Plasma, especially the dark theme for Plasma, the default one, is that the sidebar actually stands out as a sidebar on the window, and that gets lost with the theme for Plasma usually. It's hard to tell between, like the file manager where the different files are listed, and the side, it just becomes like one thing. It's hard to tell apart. And here in Cosmic, the sidebar is actually like stands out, and it's like it looks like a separate piece of the window, like right there, and the lighter gray on the left.
Mm-hmm. That's how my OpenSUSE Breeze dark theme is. Just saying.
And I wish they would do the zebra striping. I always miss the zebra striping in Dolphin, but
mean, like
I guess
this
that's
right
a
here?
personal choice. Yeah, I don't care for that. I wish they had the zebra striping.
Okay. I mean,
It's weird and just going to prove different people like different things. I used to hate the zebra striping.
I could go either way. To me, it really doesn't matter. I guess.
If you have a lot of different categories, like for like the size and like things, your eyes it makes it much easier to read. I think.
Yeah,
for me at least.
I don't doubt it. That makes sense. I don't have any documents in here. Networks? We don't do that. I don't want you to see my network. Did anybody do? I mean, there hasn't really been any major updates, probably in this last week. So I don't see that as being an issue. Would you say? Oh, some other like real positive things you could say about Pop that you used it. I mean, I know that Jinda, he says, after I installed it, I want to leave it. But was there something? Is there a specific reason why you didn't like it, Jinda? It was just you like. I know you like MX. You're MX Linux, so you like that specific flavor of XFCE.
No, it was because you have this very nice minimal desktop, okay, and it's a memory hog. The thing's a memory hog. It's slow. I mean, maybe it's not slow on your machine, but everything I ran it on from virtual to my machine, I find that thing drastically slower.
Okay.
Yeah, what's it running? I mean,
That's
Yeah.
2.3
I mean, for something that's so
gig.
simplistic, it maybe I'm wrong.
That's all good.
I'll actually say, Nate, that I tried it as well on all of my laptops, my desktop, the whole shebang. I had a very similar horrendous experience. I hate to say that, but it was slow, a hog, the whole shebang. I had the same dang issue. And no offense to the devs, they need to fix that if they're gonna, put this out to the masses. They really.
Well,
That's just my
you also got a NeoFetch.
What?
Looking for the NeoFetch. I wanted fast fetch, but it wasn't available.
Yeah.
So I didn't really notice it being slow necessarily. I didn't get that. I didn't come away thinking that. It pretty much felt on par to me.
I thought the update was quite good. I had to do an update after I installed it, and it went through like 200 or 163 in as quick as you've just done. You're listing it now. I thought it was pretty quick.
And I have crappy internet too. I'm actually surprised it didn't conk out. When
Yeah,
I did that.
weirdly, it didn't do that for me.
I used it
Well,
on the
you also-
VM, and I can't really talk about the speed, but I did notice that once I was in that overview look for the workspaces, I did notice my fan kicking up a lot. And if you notice this design language, that button you click, that's very similar to the elementary OS. They have a button just like that for like going between workspaces.
Okay.
And we didn't point this out, but the PopOS installer that was made with elementary OS, and I think they use basically the same installer.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. I kind of like the pager from Plasma, where you can like just click on the workspace. Although I usually use hotkeys for that anyway, but I do kind of like that, so I know which one I'm on just by looking at the icon on the taskbar. But that's personal preference. It's not a big deal.
Now here's another reason why Wayland is weird. I've just installed NeoFetch, and it tells me I've got a 3840 by 2160 monitor. It's not even picking up the 49-inch widescreen.
Now,
so work that one out.
I use the setup that I have, Zeb. I cannot use X11. It will not work for my setup. I have to use Wayland.
Cool.
So, which is interesting. It's just interesting the we'll call it like the bifurcation of the of people on Wayland.
Are you like using display link or something like that?
Not right now. I'm not, but I have fractional scaling on different screens based on the size, and I can't do that in X11.
Oh no, you can't. No. It has to be integer scale. If you're doing fractional scaling, it has to be both. They all both have to be the same on X11. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because my center monitors have
using XOR, they don't.
I'm sorry. Say again.
Using XOR, you can set each screen to be specifically what you want, how you want it, and all the rest of it. Because that's what I used to do before when I used to have 3 really weird screens and a TV on the end, set up XOR to set them all up the way I wanted them, including the DPI scaling that you wanted for each monitor. And that's still achievable today.
I couldn't get that to work.
I guess it helped that I had Mark Greaves around.
Isn't there an equivalent for Wayland? I thought there was.
No.
In Wayland, I just set the percentage. Like these are at 130%. These are at 100%. and then kind of works out across the screens.
And what graphics card are you using?
The built-in whatever Intel with the Arc graphics on this laptop.
Yeah. See, it may also be an NVIDIA problem with Wayland, because I've got an NVIDIA 4070. If anybody after the stream wants me to share my screen and shows you what happens when I change the display, it's freaky, really, really freaky.
So just some other discussion points.
WLR-R&R would be the equivalent for Wayland.
For instead of xrandr.
I'll put the
What
link.
would it be?
WLR-R&R. I'll put the link in the side chat here. Let's see.
Is anybody excited about the window management, the tiling in Cosmic? Does anybody have any thoughts about that?
I think it's really good, but I'm very accustomed to just the way Plasma does it, just by default. That I don't know. I'm satisfied with that, I guess. Does that make any sense? I think it's
just
superior.
the four tiling, the four window tiling within the window. Capability. Are you talking about that?
Yeah.
Like you can tile the window to the four quadrant.
Mm-hmm.
I wish Cosmic would do that by default. If you have like one window, it would do like half the window vertically, and then the other to separate two windows, and then it would cut those or one of them into a half, and then do two windows and then an open space. You know what I mean? And then go to the four, and then have four windows at once. Instead of the Fibonacci it does now, because whatever you do, it does the Fibonacci kind of like whatever window it's selected, that's the one it cuts down, and then it makes the new window appear next to it, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it would go to four quadrants and then do Fibonacci. I think
it's Cronkite or something like that on Plasma that does that. You can actually set that as a tiling scheme or whatever. I don't like that as much.
Automatic tiling.
Yeah, I like things to float and then tile when I'm ready to tile. So I guess we got just some discussion points here. So the Wayland-native compositor built on Cosmic, it's with like the rounded window corners and everything else, with the shadows, the smooth animations. Now that it was not smooth for everybody, because Zeb's saying it's problematic for him. But did anybody else find that the native compositor to be a good experience? Looking at you, Dale.
For me in the virtual machine, it was fine, but it's always hard to gauge performance with a virtual machine, of course.
I ran it on the laptop. I didn't play any games. I should have tried a game on it. One that I'm used to playing on under Plasma. I should have tried it. Didn't. But as far as I could tell, the compositor was fine. It's just the desktop environment tends to lag when it opens up a new application. Once it's open, it seemed to be fine.
So one of the things I do think is kind of neat, and I could share it again too. But as far as the tiling is concerned, I'm going to share a window. Make a selection here. Probably should just have kept it up, but I didn't. So for the tiling, the way it tiles, it's fine. But I do like that you can actually jump to another workspace with it. I thought it was kind of cool. Or is that not doing anything for you?
One of the things people say that's good about Cosmic is that they actually did the way window managers do workspaces, and the way that every screen has separate workspaces. So let's say you have 4 workspaces for your left monitor and 4 workspaces for your right monitor. Because if they all share the same amount of workspaces, it gets kind of confusing to move things. And people say with the multi-monitor workspaces, and it's better if they have separate workspaces. Like a lot of window managers do that way. And I believe Plasma and Gnome do not do that.
With Plasma, you can, like if I tile in Plasma and I go to another workspace, that tiling doesn't hold true. You can have it tiled differently. Like if you have like one applications and multiple workspaces, you know, I do that quite a bit, where I have a specific application, or maybe a terminal or something. So when I jump to different workspace, jump to different virtual desktops, workspaces, whatever, that it can actually be tiled in a different position on different. So that's kind of neat. But you're actually saying that each screen can be flipped independently of any other screen.
Each screen has its own workspaces independent of each other. They don't share the same workspaces.
Right, I got you. Okay. I'm picking up your laying down. So the auto tiling and workspaces, yeah, they say it's similar to i3, and then the dynamic workspaces with easy keyboard navigation. Did you find that to be a true statement?
It is. Yeah, they have independent workstations spaces if you configure it like that. You have to configure it to have different workspaces or different monitors, but if you do it that way, you can configure it that way.
Okay. So the theming and appearance, I like the dark mode. I'm happy with it. I could very easily live with it. I think it feels a little cartoony, a little neonish, a little like, you know, but I like it. I can't do the light themes, although I think Eris, you did tell me that I think dark themes do cause you to use more energy because you have to have a brighter screen for that. But I don't want to believe
it could be. It's because if you have a dark screen, if you have everything dark, you tend to make it brighter. I think that's the ideal of it. I don't know. I mean, if we had OLEDs, it would be a whole different thing. But everybody, for the most part, uses LCDs, and you don't save any energy just by doing dark that way.
I used to save my eyes.
You have everything dark. Okay.
Now there's supposed to be a performance benefit, that lighter weight than, I guess, in comparison to Gnome, and it's supposed to be less, and the memory safe code and whatnot. Now, Jinda, you would say that it doesn't feel as performant as XFCE. I'm going to call it a wash for my own experience. Did anybody else find?
Yeah, I guess it seemed hit or miss, I guess, for a bunch of people here, if it was slow or not.
So I don't know if anybody else had any other thoughts on that as far as the performance. But
I think general day-to-day use, it feels just as performing to me as XFCE does. Obviously, XFCE will always have the slight edge, but if I click on anything in the title bar or click on the apps and pick an app to open, it opens, and it opens in a reasonably short space of time. I mean, I can't say I've ever, timed how long it took to open there and then timed how long it took to open there. But I mean, I've used XFCE long enough to know how quick it is, and I wouldn't say this is any slower.
do you feel like this is a keyboard first design? Like it's more keyboard centric than mouse centric?
Only when you've got tiling on.
I didn't really get that feeling.
Yeah, I didn't get that feeling either. But it felt just as much mouse as it did keyboard to me.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if I learned all the shortcuts, I would know that. But I didn't really key in on it. Do you like the native cosmic look as far as how the windows are set up? Do you find that to be like the overall like a like, do you think this looks good?
To me, it just looks very. To me, it just looks very GNOME.
It doesn't have the title of whatever it is on above it, does it? This one does.
No.
No.
There's no what is this thing called? Client side decorations.
Right. But it would be nice if it said what the name of the application was there, I guess.
The Cosmic apps are very bare. I don't know if people looked into those. They're like have very bare functionality to them.
Well, I still feel like it's very GNOME, and that's one reason I said I'd like to see what version 2 and 3 looks like, because now that they've been restricted to GNOME more or less. Now they're not, so I'm really curious what they're going to do with it.
I got you. I mean, I can see it does feel. It kind of to me it feels like a cross between a GNOME and a Qt, like a GTK and a Qt feel to it. I don't know what they use for their toolkit. I probably should look that up, but I didn't. I think it's something.
I read it.
different,
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
I think it's their own thing.
Like ELO or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm one of the lucky ones, but I've never been that fussed about client-side decorations or whether or not when I'm in the file manager it tells me it's Cosmic Files. You're in the file manager. If you don't know it's Cosmic Files, why do you need to be told at the top of the window? You're looking at a file manager. I'm looking at a terminal. I'm looking at the store. I don't want all that fussing.
I like to label everything. Like even in my house, this is where 1 cup goes. This is where 3/4 cup goes. This is, I like labels for things.
Chemical forms.
Exactly.
The toolkit that Cosmic uses is iced.
Okay.
The iced toolkit.
It's written. It's
and that
Rust
was the name
toolkit.
of the old peppermint web-based tool, ICE.
Well, this is iced, like past tense, ICED, not just ICE.
Yeah, I know, yeah, but it just reminded me that's what the peppermint thing. When you were talking about earlier, saying that they're Cosmic web apps, and Peppermint had one. Yeah, it was called ICE.
Yeah, I think the integration is is good with it. I would say I didn't install a Qt app though. I probably should, but I'm not gonna do that now because I don't want to kill my internet connection. Now, So, did anybody here else besides Zeb have NVIDIA? Because I'd be interested in if a wider test space on that, because it seems like they do focus on NVIDIA, but it's unfortunate that Zeb, you didn't have a great go at it.
I actually have an RTX 5060 and a 2060 in 2 of my machines. One being the 2060 on a laptop, the other RTX 5060 on my desktop. And yeah, I experienced some challenges with that, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience for me on my NVIDIA hardware. So.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, that's too bad.
But beyond that, but I just want to say on the AMD side of things, on like Penguin here, because I have an Intel plus AMD laptop thing in front of me that I build and run StormOS on as well. That was fine, but weirdly on NVIDIA, not so much. So I don't know. For me, it was the exact opposite. Go ahead.
I just find it kind of weird that it didn't work on my AMD graphics card. No matter what I did in the back end and the terminal to try to get the dang thing to work, it just would refuse to run. I actually did report that to PopOS. With my graphics card, what it was. But yeah, it's a 7000 series.
Mine is a 4000 series. Yeah, gotcha. Mine is a 4150 in my laptop, so it's slightly older, but it ran fine. So I don't know what the heck is going on your end, but for me, it ran.
It might be just too new.
It could be too new for the kernel that they're using. Yeah,
that's true. Because it's 2404.
Yeah, and I don't know what they're doing for 26, but maybe when Pop transitions to 26 in the future, then we might have better luck. Who knows?
Yeah, that just dawned on me. I'm like, yeah, if it's based on 24.04, that might be the issue because
It
it's
could
using a
be,
really
yeah.
old graphics driver for AMD. So
Yeah, that is possible. But anyway, yeah.
So I guess the question comes down to at this point, I think we're
Yeah.
at the. Are you keeping it? Are you going to keep running it as a machine on the side, or is it more of an intellectual curiosity at this point?
Intellectual curiosity for me.
If I can
curiosity
get,
for me, but then again, I can't run it. So
Understandable.
yeah, now Vince has
Yeah.
given me that WLR R&R. I'll have a play with that tomorrow because I can see myself using this as long as I can get my screen sizes worked out properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a key requirement, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jinda, what about you? Is this an intellectual curiosity, or is it come Monday you're going to forget you ever ran it?
Well, I really do like the desktop. I thought it was kind of neat, but once again, I really, really thought it was a memory hog. I was watching the task manager the whole time I was using it. So, no, I probably will never run this ever again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. After the rough experience I had, I actually retract my statement. Yeah, I'm not giving this a second look.
It's all good.
I don't. Yeah.
I'll try it again when 2.0 comes out.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I think every time they release, for me, every time they release it, I want to check it out again. I think next time though, I think I'm gonna run it on Tumbleweed to see how that goes because I think I want to see it. I got to see that next time. I think I did it last time on Tumbleweed, but not this time. So, well, cool.
And do it on bare metal, not in a VM.
You're
Yeah.
so picky.
Yeah. If I do it again, it'll probably be on a. If I do it again, it'll be on a bare metal again, just to see if it's any better. But that's about all I'm gonna really do with it.
You see, I'm a digital nomad, so I have to be able to take it with me on the road. So what were you say, Eris?
Yeah.
It used to be the case. I don't know if this will continue, but Intel graphics was the best graphics. If you wanted to eliminate issues with Linux, it was better. It's better than AMD. It's better than NVIDIA, and I don't know if that will carry on, but that used to be the case.
I was looking at one of those ARC GPUs. It might be fun to have for an eGPU for my setup. I'll try that out.
Yeah, I would like to try one.
Like $250 on eBay. I look at it like, maybe, but
that's all. Man, I should go grab one if it's that cheap.
yeah, they're not that expensive. I can't remember which one I was looking at recently, but it was a B something, I think. I don't know. But it was like 260, maybe 250, something like that. And it didn't look like it was out of sorts. All right.
I wanted to point out one last thing.
Yeah.
One last thing about about this PopOS. Usually, PopOS was known as a good option for NVIDIA hardware because they would ship newer NVIDIA drivers than Ubuntu. And unfortunately, like it was acknowledged today, the graphics problems with NVIDIA right now. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. I think my last time I tried NVIDIA with Wayland, it was a little bit of a disaster. What can you do?
From what I hear, NVIDIA can be a hit or miss thing with Wayland anyway, depending on what version of the kernel and what version of drivers you're using.
It really is down to the individual distro. Sorry, because I run the same rig on Bazite, and now I've learned a little bit about GameScope and all the rest of it. it runs flawlessly, and that's using Wayland. I won't say flawlessly because it's not as good as I want, but I've set it all up now perfectly well, and I can play my games. It goes to this screen. These two screens do as they're told. They have the right size, the right zoom, and everything works. And yet I can put on another Wayland version, and it's all over the place. So it's really Linux specific or distro specific as to how the devs set it up, in my findings.
And the composite specific, because like Sway, it has no NVIDIA support whatsoever, and they have outright said they will not support NVIDIA because they don't like it. So,
I do have
so it all
a,
depends.
I do have one old test machine that's got NVIDIA in it, and when I'm running Tumbleweed, KDE Plasma, Wayland on that old NVIDIA machine, it does run flawlessly. It runs as good as my AMD main machine.
Yeah, the old NVIDIA drivers aren't the problem. It's the newer stuff. I mean, I remember when I first got my 4070, and Dolphin Oracle on MX25 actually went away and said it was NVIDIA's fault because they didn't give the specific UID number for my actual Zotac card. And it wasn't until about 2 years later that it caught up. So
Well,
it really
I call it
it's a mixture between the two, yeah.
I call it old machine, but it's got a pretty new NVIDIA card in it, so it's got the new drivers. It runs good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
But yeah, this one runs NVIDIA, but it doesn't have any Wayland support because it's so old. I eventually ditched this laptop as my mainline production because I couldn't use it with anything anymore.
Yeah. It's probably a 14, 15-year-old machine right there.
Yeah, it's a 2012 laptop, and it has an NVS 4200M in it, which is the equivalent of a GTX 570, I believe, or 470s, one of those two. So yeah, it's pretty old, and I had it for years and years as my main line. It was still a pretty good thing. It runs Windows 7 now, but I just couldn't deal with it because like they killed support for the old 300X drivers for it, and like Ubuntu doesn't even ship them anymore. So I had to replace it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, those old drivers are just non-existent anymore. What drivers did you even need those to run that on, Penguin?
You could always use Nuvo
390.
drivers.
It was 390.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I can't even ship those drivers anymore, truth be told. That's
Nuvo.
Yeah, Nuvu is about the only thing that it could support at this point. But anyway,
and it's got
this
a lot of
video,
squirreliness,
I think
but
we're
it's better than
beating.
nothing.
Yeah, it's better than zero.
Well, thank you very much.
Sorry, Nate, we kind of went on a.
And you know, for those that want to keep using it, keep using it. For those that don't want to use it, you know, it's another option out there. I'm glad it's being done because I think it's unique. I think it has a lot of potential, and yeah, I think they'll get there. They'll get there soon enough. I'm sure. It's been 3 years?
Right.
We've gotten this far in 3 years. That's pretty intense, I think. So, all right. I guess we'll move on to some housekeeping now. I need like a housekeeping sweeper, I think. Something fun. Watching This Week in Retro. They have fun. Have you ever seen This Week in Retro? It's got a Scottish guy, an Australian guy who's actually immigrated from UK somewhere, and an American, actually in Wisconsin. And it's a great if you like retro tech news, it's up to date news and out of date tech. It makes me laugh every time I hear that little tagline. So anyway, they have fun housekeeping sweeper. So anyway, for housekeeping, next week we have a news flight night. So if you have any news topics you want to submit, you can submit in the Telegram or Discord, I suppose. Maybe we should add that section in Discord. Eris, maybe we need to do that? We should probably do that. I don't know. I'll leave it up to you. But if you have any discussion suggestions or distro suggestions, anything like that, poll ideas, applications, submit them to suggestions@linuxsaloon.com or put them in the Discord or Telegram. I do actually like email. Email is my still my preferred way to communicate because I'm old. So,
We have a Linux Saloon live topic discussion section in Discord. So if anybody wants to put an article in there for next week, they can do that.
sweet. Oh, we sure do, don't we? So speaking of that, oh, it just started. It's not very old. For some news, let's go and hop over to the news right now. If we have a little time. When it comes to browsers, I use Firefox primarily, so I always try and keep on top of any kind of Firefox news. Oh, this is not new news. So Firefox 146 is now available with native fractional scaling on Wayland. So I don't know if anybody has read this. But from Phoronix, Firefox 156 is now available with native fractional scaling on Wayland. Reduced to binaries are now available. This is actually in December. This was announced. So the most exciting change is that the latest browser release is that I think it has less Wayland weirdness. So Firefox and macOS now has dedicated GPU processing by default, dropping direct 2D support on Windows, support for compressed elliptic curve points on web crypto, and updated bundled SKIA graphics library. I'm sorry, it said SKA. It's like, it's not the 90s anymore. We don't have SKA. So it also has some fun developer enhancements like support for CSS text decoration inset property, and the @scope rule is now being supported. So more details can be found on their site. So does anybody here use Firefox as a primary browser, or yeah?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
I use it as one of my browsers.
Oh, it's on 147 already. So did anybody take advantage of the fractional scaling with Wayland? Is it working any better for you, or does it not really matter?
I'm not using it. I don't use it.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's some applications that don't play well on Wayland. There's fixes for that. What were you going to say, Penguin?
I said I use WaterFox somewhat, but I don't think they've pushed that fix to WaterFox yet because it wasn't available on my setup right now. So, but then again, Chromium's had that. I was going to say I primarily use Brave, and that has always worked. So,
okay. Anyway, so yeah, I'm always happy to see that Firefox is still chipping away. Another article here that I thought was interesting is the Jolla community. Is anybody familiar with this? They have their phone has Surpasses funding goals. They have over 3,200 backers for secure the future of Jolla's upcoming Linux phone, pushing the project beyond its initial funding milestone. So they needed 2,000 pre-orders to move forward, and now it's at 3,200. Their smartphone project has cleared the production threshold, securing more than 3,200 pre-orders. The strong response ensures that the new Linux phone developed under the Do It Together model will move forward into manufacturing, with batch 1 already sold out and batch 2 now available. The device is positioned as an independent European Linux phone shaped directly by its users. Pre-orders require a €99 refundable deposit, deducted from the first initial price of €594 for batch number 2. Markets include EU, UK, Norway, and Switzerland. According to Jolla, batch 1 sold out in under 48 hours. So the hardware specifications as a 6.36-inch full HD AMOLED display, 12 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of storage with microSD expansion. That's cool. and high-performance 5G MediaTek platform powered by the Sailfish OS. The privacy-focused Linux-based mobile operating system that offers an alternative to the mainstream Android and iOS. The phone also includes a 50 megapixel main camera, user-replaceable 550 milliamp hour battery, dual nano SIM support, Wi-Fi 6, NFC, and a fingerprint reader, as Jolla guarantees a minimum of 5 years of OS support and availability of spare components, including back covers and batteries. The pre-order campaign remains open until that's already closed. So, does anybody here think that a Linux phone is going to ever be a thing? Is that pessimistic?
I think it's going to be a very niche thing, because a lot of these operating systems have to be supported by app developers, and if they're not supported by mainline app developers, a lot of people just aren't going to be able to use them in day-to-day life like they do Android and iOS.
So is it chicken and egg problem?
I agree with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I agree with you, but they said the same thing about Android when it came on the market.
Because of BlackBerry?
Yeah, but there's a slight difference between Android that came on the market backed by a multi-billion organisation like Google and a phone backed by some enthusiasts in the background. My question was going to be, okay, so we go along and we get one of these and it works well, but how long are they going to continue to make it and support it? I mean, what happened to the Pine phone? Did that go anywhere? Is that still made?
No, they just recently stopped making them. So it had like a 5-year run.
Mm-hmm. Which is about the same for most other phones anyway, before the companies stopped supporting them. And I also tried back in the day another company, but I think it was more of the OS that runs on it rather than the phone itself, because I bought it with an old S21 and it had all the operating. I can't remember the name of the company that did it now, but I'm wondering if they're still around and still providing that OS to go on phones.
I think to me it's the app ecosystem is going to be the big problem. I think for instance, can I use my banking app on there? Can I use like two-factor authentication with it? Those are the reasons I use a phone primarily. Can I play Pokemon Go? Because I still sometimes play that, and that's kind of fun. I'm sure I can play Free Cell on it, so I got that covered. So I don't know. That would be my thought right there.
Yeah, it's just mainly the app support is whether it's going to take off or not. If not, it's just going to be a toy for tech geeks.
Right. Which I still play with my Pine phone.
Linux is?
Well, I mean, I use Linux full time, so it's more than just for tech geeks.
Yeah, but you're a tech geek. We all are tech geeks, otherwise we wouldn't be here.
I'm more than just a tech geek, but not much more.
You are the captain. That's what you are.
Something like that. I got my watch.
Why did that song just pop into my head? Was it Captain and Tennille? You are the captain of the ship or something?
What is a movie that's from? I Am the Captain Now. Remember that? I hear all the time, but where is that from? What movie? Do we know? Somebody remember?
Is that
That's
Tom
from
Hanks?
Tom Hanks. I don't remember what that movie's called.
Was that the Tom Hanks film where the pirates took over?
Yeah.
And the pirate said to Tom Hanks, "I'm the captain now."
Yeah, exactly.
And the other one I think of is "Oh Captain, My Captain," which I think is a Robin Williams.
Yeah, but that's more with the fact that he's a school teacher, not an actual captain of the ship. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have another article here, which I largely disagree with this article, but I thought it was an interesting article, and I wanted to share it. And it's titled Ubuntu is the reason Windows users don't want to switch to Linux, which is pretty harsh, I think. So it says, for years, Linux
I'm
fans
going to say
have...
3 words. Sorry, before you start, I'm going to
Go
say
ahead.
3 words for this article, yeah? Proc and clickbait.
It could be. But
It's
this
like
guy's
rage
been-
bait.
Yeah,
If I could interrupt one last time, it's Captain Phillips, the film, where you're pirates.
Oh, Captain Phillips at the for the Tom Hanks movie.
The Tom Hanks movie, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm only going to read parts of this. So the introduction here says, for years, Linux fans have predicted the year of Linux desktop is near, and clearly that hasn't really happened. Okay. All right, whatever. It's a meme. It does seem like things are an upswing with millions of users downloading Linux in recent months, and overall user percentage on Steam reaches historic highs, 3.58 in December, although I saw different numbers. As a recent Linux convert myself, I'm very happy to see this evolution, but I can also clearly see why Linux isn't more popular. See, the most popular Linux distro is Ubuntu, and if you ask me, it makes a terrible first impression for Windows users. If Ubuntu was my first experience with Linux, and actually it was, I wouldn't want to stick around for very long either. So he just contradicted himself. So says Ubuntu's looks weird. It's too much all at once. And he has an older picture of the Ubuntu desktop. Says I can understand that different operating systems with a different desktop is going to have a big learning curve. But for me, Ubuntu and its Gnome desktop environment definitely feels like a little too much to have to adjust as a beginner. When you boot into Ubuntu, you're greeted by a taskbar that oddly resides on the left side of the screen, with a menu bar at the top that houses a kind of element. So, okay. So kind of beats on that a little bit. It says snap packages aren't great. Why go against the grain here? And then he goes on and says customization isn't easy because Gnome extensions don't make it that obvious. And the hardware support can be iffy. Actually, I think that the hardware support's pretty good with that. So, do you think there are better starter options than what Ubuntu has, or do you think?
Oh,
I mean,
that whole article, he's complaining about Gnome.
Yeah, largely.
I mean, Ubuntu's the name he's putting into it, but he's complaining about Gnome. It's not very customizable. You have to install third-party software in order to customize it deeply. And in my opinion, if Kubuntu would be a better first, if you're coming from Windows. That's just me.
Well, I'm actually going to contradict Dale for a second. I think Ubuntu is a little bit better than Kubuntu because it's a little simpler for those coming from Windows into Linux because it's more Windows-like than KDE is. And KDE can be quite daunting to configure.
Kubuntu has really good defaults. So it's not like most people probably wouldn't think to configure it anyway. Like they would just be like, okay, and then use it for the most part. So that wouldn't matter. And then if they dug into it, then they would have, oh, look at all these buttons and switches I can flick. In fact,
that's actually a perfect point. Would people even customize anything?
I don't think they would customize it. I think most people won't. I see some on very rare occasions. Do I see some people even change the wallpaper at work on like people's computers? Nobody cares for a light theme or dark theme. Most people just use a light theme, and it really bothers me. So yeah, I don't think people for the most part would care. I think once it got past the welcome and had those like different really quick little options in Kubuntu, that would probably be the end of their customization. Like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, okay, and that'd be the end of it. So they wouldn't. No, most people are just not going to care.
When I give Linux to somebody who's coming from Windows and never tried Linux before, I give them a Kubuntu or a KDE Plasma environment. It's either Kubuntu, sometimes it's Fedora KDE, which I never thought I'd say in the past, but it is now. And sometimes it's Tumbleweed KDE. So to me, if they're coming from Windows, I give them KDE Plasma. If they're coming from Mac OS, I give them Gnome.
So I actually have recently switched my recommendations. I will probably use Tumbleweed until I can no longer use Tumbleweed. But if someone says, "Hey, I want to try Linux," I'm like, "Hey, what do we do with it?" "Well, I want to play games." I just give them Bazite. That's it. I don't even because then I don't have to worry about anything at that point. Once it's installed, then I literally don't have to think about them using Linux until they have a question about it, and it's pretty rare.
Yep.
Isn't Bazite immutable?
Not
Right,
entirely.
if I remember correctly. Oh,
Yeah, well, we had
not
discussions
entirely.
about-
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Nothing's ever immutable.
Yeah.
But for the everyday user, yeah, it's immutable. To do things on it is quite tricky. You can do by using the OS tree insert command and all the rest of it. But basically, you install it, run it, and use it. End of. Next.
Right. And so for the purpose of most users, that's going to be adequate across the board, and I don't have to think about it. And so they give the option of either like go in the big picture Steam mode or whatever, or not, and then depending on what they want to do, and then I don't think about it because it has all the basic things installed in it for a good experience, and then if they want to add anything, they do it through now the new thing. It used to be Discover, but now it's their new whatever it's called. And
Bazaar.
I think they're
Bazaar?
using Octopi at the moment.
Yeah, Bazaar.
Oh yeah, Bazaar, but they've also got Octopi in the background if you want to use it.
Also homebrew for those people who like those terminal applications. So anyway, let them go I can just let them go play with it and do stuff, and I don't have to think about it. And that's going to be my recommendation for now.
So you would give anybody Bazite
Pretty much.
and not give him Aurora instead?
Correct. Did that offend somebody?
No, I just find it interesting because Bazite is like gaming focused, and Aurora is just like not a gaming focus, but just like a regular desktop.
Well, it has more to do with the user experience. Chances are, if someone's coming to me, they're going to want to play games also. Chances are. So, yeah, good times. All right. Well, we have. Is Ben still here? Yeah, Ben has not wandered off yet. So we do have time for a community free pour. So if you wanted to share a little nugget of excitement, feel free.
What we've been doing. Yeah. Red, I'm going to let you lead this off, and I'll step in wherever I need.
Do you have anything to demonstrate that you want to show?
Yeah, I'll let him answer that question.
Yeah, I mean, we fixed the installer so it allows for partitions. Zavit's up and running.
Yes.
I believe Ben has loaded that. I tested
Yeah, I
it as
put
well.
that in the GitHub. I rebuilt it. It's all ready to go.
Yep. So that's
Yeah.
fixed.
And I did test that on StormOS. It allowed me to split partitions, whatever. So we should have that up on SourceForge shortly.
Yeah, mine's already up on SourcePorge. What else?
So basically, our big news tonight is that the name's not changing. Don't worry about that. But we just pushed up an installer fix. That's mainly it.
Oh, okay. So you did some bug fixing, fix an installer, and then that's your big news.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, we allowed for dual booting, and we did a wallpaper change. It's mainly it.
Cool.
Yeah. So everything's pretty much fine. We got it all squared away, and another quick bit is soon we will be porting the same installer to Gentoo, but it'll be offline because doing it online would just take way too effing long. because we all know how Gentoo can be, and an installer based from that, doing it online would just be like, oh my god, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. But anyway, yeah, StormOS continues.
Well, good deal. I'm glad you're still scratching that itch.
Yes, and hopefully we can get a revised look at it very soon with the new installer.
Excellent. Are you eating your own dog food?
Yes, I'm still running it as my daily driver 100%.
Fantastic. That's good to hear.
And that's our news for this week.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for that. And it is time for a last call. I think someone's got some feedback. That's making my head hurt.
It must be red because I don't know.
Don't ever blame red for anything.
It's okay.
But it's probably red. So, all right. So last call. I just want to thank everyone for being here, of course. Oh, Dale, what do you got going on here in this coming week?
Working too much, and we're forecasted to be, our highs are going to be like in the 20s degrees Fahrenheit range. And I work outside a lot, so I'm going to be pretty miserable this week.
Oh, yes. Today was pretty miserable here, so I don't know how it was for you, but it's terrible. So I understand.
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of outdoor work you have to do?
Truck driver on a yard driver manager on a yard trucks.
Okay.
And when it gets that temperature, mechanical things
Issues
don't like
ensue.
to cooperate.
Yeah. Do you have those yard trucks that have like a single seat offset with like the looks goofy? Okay.
Yeah, they look like a telephone booth.
Yeah.
I'm a manager of currently 16, 17 drivers.
Okay. My concern about that style of truck is, how do you have somebody how do you do left seat, right seat training in that? Is that like, how is there a way to, you know what I mean? Like, it seems like it's really a terrible way to like train, like how do you train up somebody? It's like they already have to be at a certain skill level to be able to use that. That can't be a starting point.
Yeah, don't tell safety, but the training ensues. One of the drivers is sitting on a 5-gallon bucket. So
I won't tell safety. Yeah. I know how that goes.
They're not designed for two people.
No, it just seems kind of silly. Like why would that be a design choice?
We used to have, a long time ago, we used to have a truck that was designed to be a trainer truck.
Uh-huh.
And they had a fold down jump seat, but they got rid of it. So now it's a 5-gallon bucket.
All right. So Scrub Ghost asked, what is a yard truck? And so,
it's the little tiny 18-wheeler truck that you'll see on the back lots of yards that have a hydraulic fifth wheel that lifts the trailer up, pulls it around, sets the trailer back down where it needs to be. Usually looks like a telephone booth, one-seater.
This is an example of a kind of yard truck. They have like a spot for one person, and then I'm sharing that so if you want to look at that. Do yours look like this? These look much nicer than what I'm accustomed to seeing.
Very similar, yes. Different brand, but yeah, very similar.
So you can't have somebody sit next to you. Oh, this one has space in the back. I suppose you could have somebody stand behind. But anyway, yeah, that's a yard truck.
Yep.
Well, cool. Well, I wish you all
ours
the best.
is a single axle. That one with the 2 axles is nice.
Oh, okay. Yes, Chris, those are weird looking trucks indeed.
Yes.
So, but they're good for like a when you have basically they just stick around 1 yard and they move trailers around. That's what they do.
from door to yard, yard to door.
Yep.
They're not necessarily designed to go down the road. They're just little short.
Every once in a while, I'll see
skip
one
and
down
jump.
the road. Yeah, they're just going like cross county or whatever with a load or something.
Yeah.
Yep. Funny trucks for sure. All right.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate it.
And like I said, when it gets to be -5 degrees or so, they don't tend to like that.
No, nothing seems to like it. Especially, well, I guess if you have the diesel running and you don't shut it off, it does better. But I wouldn't
Yes.
shut it off.
We do a lot of extra idling. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Penguin, I haven't seen you in probably 3 years, 2 years? I don't know. Welcome back.
I was going to say, it's been about a year and a half. Yeah, thank you. I plan on actually showing up a little bit more often now.
Okay.
Now that things have gotten more settled.
Gotcha.
Things have been crazy over the past year. I mean, I've just been dealing with health issues. We had a death in the family this past year. My father passed this past
no
year.
good.
So yeah, it's been very, very busy.
I imagine. I like those doors behind you. It's kind of a nice. Is that like a barn door? Does it slide?
Yeah, that's what they are. They're barn style doors. Yeah, I just shut off everything to the rest of the house right now because number one, it's cold and I've got a heater right in front of me, and number two, just so the others in the house aren't bothered by me chit chatting. But yeah, that's what those are. We just put those in maybe a year and a half ago. You just remember it used to be wide open back there.
Well, it looks nice. But, I like the look of wood. It's got kind of an organic thing going for it. It's very nice.
Oh, I do too. And you should see our floors. I can't exactly show it from here because I got a rug underneath me, but yeah. But yeah, we just put in wood floors too.
Oh, very nice. Well, thank you for being here. Zeb, how you doing? So glad you're here.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. My next week is going to be, let's have a play tomorrow with the new Wayland R to see if I can sort my screens out. And then I'm actually going to take a week off because if you figure I've been away since 2020 and then all of a sudden I'm back and everything's hopping and this and that and the other, and I just need to come back down, just get to a sensible level, stop installing every distro that you can think of and then wrecking the other 4 that you've just got set up properly, which is what happened to my Bazite and why I lost all of my stuff for CashOS this week. So just stop, use, I've got Bazite and CashOS, and that's it. And I'm just going to take a week off and just chill and use the computer and not think about doing anything clever.
Well, the good news is next week is just a news flight night. We're not doing another distribution next week, so you can we'll only do one like the cadence now is we do like a distribution exploration, a news flight night.
One a month.
Yeah, basically one a month, every 4 weeks, and then we'll switch things up sometimes. Then we do like an application. So if you have any application ideas, for things to try it, and we can try out maybe like a class of applications or a particular application, and then do like an open mic night, so just kind of whatever you want to talk about that's Linux tech related, and then do that distribution. So just a little bit different.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
And I call them explorations as opposed to challenges, because they're not really a challenge anymore. I think they're just kind of play around with it, noodle around, say what do you like, what do you not like, and things like that.
Well, they would be a challenge if you said to people, right, we start at X o'clock. 2 hours before we start, you have to install this OS, get it up and running, and be on the show live and let us know what you felt.
On that machine,
would be a challenge.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it to my production machine because that would pretty much grind me to an absolute halt. So that'd be a bad thing.
I'm retired. I don't have a production machine. It's just the machine that I play with at the back. That's it.
Yeah. I could probably pull some other machines out, but I I don't know. Just haven't gotten there yet. Anyway, so thanks for being here. Eris, appreciate everything you do, all the straw polls and the like, and keeping the everything so well maintained. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ben,
Yes.
keeping you.
No worries. As always.
All right. Appreciate you being here, Eric.
As always.
Eric, are you
Yes.
cold? How what's the temperature there in Florida right now?
I think it's about 65.
Oh man. That sounds
Yeah,
wonderful.
68 right now.
That's actually the temperature I have. I have a heater in here because I don't want to I don't want to waste too much energy. So that's actually the temperature I keep.
Yeah.
I keep this in here, like 68, but it's still cold. I find that when it gets
This
below,
week coming up supposed to go below.
when it gets below like 10, and like things start to like, just because you have double or triple pane glass, it doesn't really matter. You know, it just at some point in time it doesn't like it's just awful.
Yeah, you're like the molecular level of the material is leaching the heat out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
know.
guess homes built like in Minnesota or like northern Wisconsin, they have different standards for like how you got to build a house there. Mine is not like that.
Yeah.
So.
No, mine is definitely not. So when it gets down into the 50s or anything like that, I don't have a real furnace. I have a heat pump, so it kind of it only works down to a certain temperature, and then anything below that. So this week coming up, we're going down into the 30s at night, supposedly. And if that happens, then it's cold.
Probably curtains for any banana trees out there.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah, so when we first moved in, we had some hard freezes, and that kills just about everything here. So, but we haven't had them for a long time, but it's looking like we might have it this year. And you know what? It just kind of resets everything, and then most stuff comes back, but it does not like that cold. So, I don't mind it. I really don't. I wait all year for this to be comfortable. Because the rest of the year it's just too hot.
I think comfortable is like 86. To me, that's comfortable.
Yeah, see, on almost 75 is my upper limit.
Okay.
So, anyway.
Yeah, my
I'm doing it while it lasts.
68 is perfect.
68 is perfect. To me, it's a little bit cold.
Yes, I agree.
My lab has a heat pump, and you're right. I think at about 5 degrees or so, maybe 15. You're still getting heat out of it, but it's not enough heat. So I think right now it
doesn't counteract.
it's like 60 degrees in there, and so it's a little bit rough.
Yeah, so we'll survive, and it doesn't last very long, and then the next day it's back up into the 60s and 70s. So, all very short-lived.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for doing it. I really appreciate it.
Jinda.
Yes.
I was hoping we could see your crazy camera again. You do its like fuzzy green pixelated business.
Oh, I didn't bother to try to fix it this week.
Oh, okay.
Sorry
All
about that.
That's all right.
I was too busy having fun playing with PopOS.
Oh, okay. And playing in the snow? We're doing much of that?
Jinda still has camera issues. He was having those when I was.
No, these are new.
These are new ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. How many inches of snow did you get by you this week?
Oh, about 9.
Okay.
8 or 9. It down where I work, they got like about 2 feet.
I think it was Monday we got a lot. Tuesday we got a lot. Wednesday not so much. Thursday was kind of bad. Friday wasn't not much. It was enough. Had enough blowing and drifting that I had to. I didn't feel like getting out the skid steer and moving things around. But I did have, I don't like to get too close to the building either, because if I go through the building, it's not going to, the building won't stop the skid steer is the problem. So I try to be more delicate. And anyway, I just had like hard compacted snow that I had to move, which I know the snowmobilers love it around here because I see the snowmobile tracks. But there was, yeah, lots of snow. Anyway, Mike.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Man, if I was any better, I would be you.
No, that would be a downgrade, sir.
Well, and at this particular time of the year, that's true.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're like in week 3 of our 8 weeks of winter here in Alabama. And it was like 64 today. But like Eric, we're going to have a little cold snap the next few days. So I had to quit wearing shorts and wear real pants. You know?
Oh, man. Pants are for squares. At least that's what SpongeBob said.
In fact, tonight, while the show was going on, I rolled out Marklight 0.3.0. So, new version out there on the site at marklight.app. And there's a Debian package, there's a RPM, and a snap if you want to go that route.
No flat pack yet, though, I see.
Now, telling you, they're making it really tough on me to do that. One of these days, though, I'm going to break down and make one. I was showing Seeker earlier what it takes to build a snap. Watching it scroll through for 4.5 minutes while it gathers everything up. So, but this new version has a couple of new features. The biggest things you'll see are you now have a hotkey for the View Edit button, so you can just hit Control E and it'll toggle back and forth between View and Edit. I made it where you can resize the window and it will save your window size. So you don't have to constantly do that.
Sweet.
And go ahead, what?
I said sweet. That's good.
Yeah. And let's see what else. Everything else was just kind of some tuning, trying to get everything to be as efficient as possible. A lot of refactoring in this version. So I think I'm probably about one version away from moving to version 1.
Okay. So, I have a feature request, but we'll talk about that another time.
Yeah, anytime, man.
Cool.
Anytime. So that's what I've been up to this weekend, is just trying to roll that out. And this week's going to be another week of Zoom meetings and coding. That's my life. So
good times.
Yeah, boy.
Well, thanks for being here, Seeker, or Red, whatever you want me to call you. I know what you're. I don't know what I should call you.
Yes, sir. How can I help you, Sid?
I should say thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. I was glad to be here. Hopefully, I'm not very, very loud.
No, you're fine. Totally fine. Excellent. All right. Well, I did want to say thank you very much, everyone, for being here. I didn't get a chance to, because I was lazy, update the little credits there, but I did get some more patron supporters. So Tom Morrow became a healthy tipper. Scott Frazier became a free member as well. And then also Mike Chilson, also as a member, a paid member as well. So anyway, thank you very much for supporting this. It does help. I'm working on a thing to try and make some infrastructural backend stuff to make things better. So that'll take care of some of the costs there. So I do appreciate that. Anyway, also I have a website called cubelinux.com if you want to see what I do. I got some things there. Also, I want to thank you for support, however you do it, being a part of the conversation here in the Discord meeting, YouTube stream, as well as everyone for watching this right after the fact. I want to thank everyone involved making Linux and open source tools possible for us to not only have this conversation, but also to have fun and enjoy our technology. Linux truly puts personal back into personal computer. And I would say it also puts fun into computers because, it's actually fun to dork around with it. So thank you for stopping by. Be sure to tip your developers, and please remember to Linux responsibly. Until next time, see yous.